Everyone, welcome to those who are new and welcome back to those who are not. At the end of this video, please do give a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notified bell, and also share this video. Dissecting Ecclesiastes 12. Now one would ask the question, does God truly want us to start serving Him as Lord and Savior of our lives when we are young? Now I would answer by saying yes. Because when we are young, we are able to run a race, to carry out a task much better than when we get old. Remember, God is our creator. And as long as a person is able to know right from wrong, I would say that they can start serving Him when they are young. Now, you can know sin from righteousness. Yes, I would say you are ready. Now we are God's property. He said He made man out of His own image and likeness. That means we belong to Him. We are here to serve Him. It is easier as a young person to serve God because trial and tribulation comes when we are in Christendom. And when we are young, and when those trial and tribulation comes our way, we are more able to stand. But when you're old and going through trial and tribulation, when you're just at a seven, when you get old, you won't be able to stand because you get weary very easily. One would say, how can I start serving God when I'm young? I have to go to the party. I want to enjoy my life. I have to go here. I have to go there. I have to get this. I have to get that. Those are just lust of the flesh. No, not saying that lust of the flesh doesn't come your way when you're in God. But in your latter years, the lust of the flesh will not matter anymore. All that we are running down when we are young, getting older, it won't matter to you anymore. And then you will look back and said, well, what was I running down all this time? Why didn't I start serving this man, Jesus Christ, when I was younger? Why didn't I? Because what I know now, if I knew it then, I would do things different. Verse 2 said, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. I think the writer was talking about the natural lights and our vision. It's not so good as how we used to be when we were much younger. Verse 3 said, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, you're talking about our arms, it shall tremble. We won't have that strength. If we live to see that long, we won't have that strength in our hands anymore. And the strong men shall bow themselves, talking about the feet. Won't be able to go fast as we used to go. We won't be able to run. And the grinders cease because they are few. We're talking about our teeth. When they start to fall out and you don't have enough false teeth, your real teeth fall out and like you have only 2 or 3 leave. They are few. And those that look out the windows be darkened. And talking about our eyes. The eyesight not so good again as how it used to be. It is poor in vision. Let me pause for a moment to encourage somebody, a young person out there, that serving God when you're young, it is not a crime. It is not a death sentence. It is a life beyond measure. There is greatness in God. There is fun in God. I don't know if anyone ever have a good flu like symptom before. When you feel your arms shaking, the writer we're talking about the arms with no strength, our legs, which are supporting, that support our bodies, they become weak. Just imagine, I picture old age as a good flu without feeling sick, but you're unable to move fast. You are unable to do what you want to do. That's how I picture old age. And I'm not talking about a little brush off the flu. I'm talking about when you get a serious flu, when you have to take your bed for it, rub up in your sheet. Yes, man, I'm talking about that kind of flu that really rock you to the core. Verse 4, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. The door is here. It's our mouth. When we get older, our voice will not be as strong as it is when we are young. It will not be. When the sound of the grinding is low, that's what I'm talking about. Few in words. You want to shout, you can't shout. So it's better to start serving God when we are young, when you can lift that voice and shout some good hallelujah. When the sound of the grinding is low also mean when you won't be able to eat a big plate of food like you used to when you were young. And these shall rise up at the voice of the bird. What you're talking about, your sleep get light. How do I know that? I have friends who are much older than me, and they would tell me that they sleep less the older they get. And some of us that love the music so much when we were young and jump at a beat as it's play, we won't be able to do that again when we get old, because the dart of music shall be brought low. In verse 5 it said, and when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way. Height, you won't be able to climb like you used to. Because guess what? Fear stepped in now. You're no longer brave. When we are young, we are brave and we are faceless. Yes, man. We climb up any tall tree as a queen to climb up the tree. We go up the ladder so fast. But when you get older, fear take that space. And you will fear you're going to fall off. Won't be able to do it again. And the almond tree shall flourish. Yes, man. All the gray hairs them start to come up. Yes, man, I'm talking about that white hair start coming up. And the grasshopper shall be as burden. Every little thing bother you at times. And desire shall fade. That's what I was talking about. The lust what you used to have when you were young, they're gonna feel. Because man goeth to his long home, and mourners go about the streets. Talking about funeral here. Now, pause for a moment. Where do you plan to spend life after death? Because there is life after death. Let no one fool you that this will be your final home. There will be a price to pay. Yes, there will be. Whether it is good or bad. What would we reap? Hell or heaven? Whether that's to think about. Verse 6 said, over the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. We're talking about the silver cord be loose and the bowl being broken. Talking about the life of a man. It's all poured out. It was only vanity. Yes, the joy that we used to have before, it's no longer there. The joy to go to the party, it will no longer be there. It will all be gone. Verse 7, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Mean, man is dust. Yes, we are going to go back to God after we die. That's why I asked before, where do we plan to spend our eternity? Job 1 verse 21 said, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. What I would say, life out of God is no life at all. Just brings shame and disgrace. Nothing good comes out of life out of God. We all do need God. We cannot live without God. He can live without us, but we definitely cannot live without Him. We need Him every step of the way. We need Him whether we believe it or not. We all do need Him. Verse 8 said, vanity of vanities, said the preacher. All is vanity. Now Solomon is speaking about the natural side of life. Now, for Solomon to be saying this, as I said earlier on, the writer have to be somebody who is old and have experience. After Solomon passed through everything, he come to one conclusion: vanity of vanities. Said the preacher, all is vanity. All that he was running down is just vanity. There is more to life because there is an afterlife. Verse 9, and moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs. If we read more about this writer, he teaches people many proverbs and parables in order for them to have a better life. Now here comes the preacher's final words of advice. Verse 10, the preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. Now one would argue and say, but where does Solomon got his wisdom from to teach his people? It was God who gave Solomon wisdom. 1 Kings 4, verses 29 to 30. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding exceedingly much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. And Solomon's wisdom exceeded the wisdom of all the children of the east country, and all the wisdom of Egypt. That is to show that the world did not give Solomon this wisdom. God Himself placed them upon the table of His heart. Verse 11, the words of the wise are as goods, and as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. This is to say that true wisdom can only be found in God and God alone. Proverbs 1 verse 7 said, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." A man who is lack of wisdom can ask of God, and trust me, He will surely grant us wisdom, but we have to ask. He will not give it to us just like that. We have to go to Him in prayer and supplication in order for Him, and with a true heart, in order for Him to grant it. Verse 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandment, for this is the whole duty of man. Now, if this is the whole duty of man, why can't we start serving Him when we are young? It is the whole duty of man. Yes. When we are young, come to Him. There's peace in Him. There's joy and contentment in Him. Just come. Just give it up. I want to encourage somebody again. No matter what you're going through, no matter how young you are, you can rise up and start serving God. Seek a friend before you need a friend. 14 said, "For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil." That means that there's going to be a day when we all have to give an account for a sin. We all have to give an account of how we spend our life when we were young until we get old. We have to give an account. Not saying that all of us gonna get old. Some will not get old. Some die pretty young. None of us know when death will come. But I want to encourage somebody. Seek God before it's too late. Is there knocking at your heart door? Just give in. Run down this man, Jesus Christ. He has everything in his hand. Everything that we need is in God. But we have to give up the world to come to Him. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful morning, a wonderful day, and be blessed in Jesus Christ's name.